Suppose we have the following data: 5, 8, 12, 10, 7, 3, 2, 4, 8, and 1. It's possible to find the mean without understanding what you're doing at a deeper level. Your understanding might not go beyond memories of school and being taught that the mean is an average and that you add and divide for the mean. This doesn't mean you can't find the mean. You add up all the values and divide by how many there are. There are 10 values, the total is 60. 60 divided by 10 gives you 6, therefore the mean is 6. And for some people, that might be good enough. But I also think it's important to understand the reasons why you are doing each of those steps, and to have a deeper understanding of what the mean is. This is Mr. Butler Maths, and in this video I'm giving you a visual explanation of each step of calculating the mean. I think this visual explanation makes the process much more intuitive and therefore easier to remember. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to provide an example that demonstrates why the mean is useful. Let's get started. Suppose we have 4 people. Each person is represented by a box. The first person has 5 squares. The second has 2, the third has 4, and the fourth person has 1. We want to find the mean. Well, what is the mean? In this case, it is the number of squares each person will have if all the squares are shared equally between each person. So how do we find this mean? Well, first, we need to know how many squares there are in total. Let's collect all the squares together, so it's easier to find the total. There are 4, 8, 12 squares in total. If I was doing this numerically, this step represents adding 5, 2, 4, and 1. Which, as you can see, also gives us 12. Now, we want to share this total equally between each person. Therefore, we need to divide 12 by how many people there are. So it will be 12 over 1, 2, 3, 4, as there are 4 people in this example. Sharing those 12 squares equally between each person gives 3 squares to each person. Therefore, the mean is 3. And numerically, we'd write that as 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. So that's a more visual explanation of what the mean is. In practice, when I'm calculating the mean, I wouldn't draw all these diagrams. I would still use these 3 steps. However, I think remembering this visual representation of the steps is a good reminder of what we're doing. So far, I've covered what the mean is and how we find it, but now let's look at when the mean is useful. Suppose we want to compare 2 different groups of people. We could just calculate who has the most in total. However, this would be affected by how many people there are in each group. There may be 2 people in one group, 1 with 4 and 1 with 6, and the second group might have 4 people, 1 with 2, 1 with 4, 1 with 5, and 1 with 1 square. So in total, group 1 has 10, and in total, group 2 has 12. Even though group 2 has the higher total, it would be unfair for group 2 to give up some of their squares for group 1. Why would it be unfair? Well, let's calculate the mean of each group. If I equally share that total of 10 between those 2 people, each person is going to get 5. Therefore, group 1 has a mean number of squares of 5. Numerically, that's 10 divided by 2. Group 2 have a total of 12, and they're sharing that total equally between 4 people. Therefore, there is a mean of 3. And numerically, 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. The mean is a fairer measure because it takes into account both the total and the number of people. And the mean is most often used when we're comparing 2 different groups. That's it for this week's video on a visual explanation of the mean. As always, if you find this video helpful, it really helps me out if you can give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to find your way back for more maths content. Thanks, guys.